For most of the last 3 years, frontier AI models have followed a predictable pattern. The biggest releases came from the United States. OpenAI, Anthropic, Google DeepMind. Every few months, a new flagship model would appear, setting new benchmarks in reasoning, coding, multimodal understanding, and agentic behavior. But something shifted, and it didn't happen in San Francisco. It happened in Beijing. Chinese AI startup Zhipu AI has officially released GLM-5, its new flagship large language model, and according to multiple international reports, including Reuters and technical benchmark coverage from Hyper AI and Winbuzzer, it is positioning itself directly against models like Claude Opus and Google's Gemini on key reasoning and coding evaluations. This isn't just another incremental model update, this is a strategic statement, because GLM-5 is not only large, not only competitive, not only agentic, it was built using domestically produced chips, and that changes everything. Let's break this down properly. Reuters reported that Zhipu unveiled GLM-5 as its most powerful model to date, emphasizing strong performance in coding, reasoning, and long-running autonomous tasks. The company positioned the model as capable of rivaling leading Western systems on benchmark tests. Hyper AI coverage detailed that GLM-5 is a 744 billion parameter mixture of experts, ME model. But that number alone doesn't tell the real story, because in ME systems, not all parameters activate at once. Instead, subsets of the model, experts, are selectively activated per query. That allows a model to scale massively without requiring the full computational load every time. In GLM-5's case, reports indicate that around 32 billion parameters activate per token during inference. That means you get the capacity of a 744B model without paying the full computational cost on every generation. That design choice matters. It affects efficiency, it affects cost, it affects scalability, and it affects competitiveness. According to technical documentation and cloud integration reports, GLM-5 supports a context window up to 200,000 tokens. That puts it in long context territory alongside frontier Western models. Why does that matter? Because long context is foundational for large codebase analysis, multi-document reasoning, legal document review, research synthesis, agent memory persistence, and tool calling workflows. A 200K token window allows the model to ingest entire repositories, contracts, or research datasets at once. And if you've been working with large-scale LLM deployments, especially in document review or compliance workflows, you know context window limits can make or break real enterprise adoption. Zhipu clearly understands this. One of the headline claims around GLM-5 involves coding benchmarks. Coverage from Hyper AI and Winbuzzer references performance across SWE Bench, BrowseComp, Vending Bench 2, and MCP Atlas. These are not casual evaluations. SWE Bench, for example, measures whether an AI system can fix real GitHub issues from large code repositories. This requires understanding a complex codebase, identifying the bug, writing correct patches, passing automated tests. This is closer to real software engineering than simple coding exercises. Reports indicate GLM-5 performs in the same competitive tier as models like Claude Opus and Gemini on these tasks. That's significant, because coding ability isn't just about generating snippets, it's about reasoning through structured systems, it's about planning changes, it's about iterative correction, and it's about autonomous tool use. This is where things get interesting. Multiple reports describe GLM-5 as having strong agentic behavior. Agentic doesn't just mean can answer questions, it means can break down tasks into subtasks, can call tools, can iterate, can correct errors, can persist context, can plan multi-step workflows. Atlas Cloud's write-up emphasized GLM-5's suitability for complex reasoning and long-running agent systems. That implies something deeper. We're no longer just talking about chatbots, we're talking about systems that operate, systems that perform, systems that execute. The global AI race is moving from language generation to task execution, and GLM-5 is clearly built for that phase. Now we move to the geopolitical dimension. Reuters explicitly reported that GLM-5 was trained using domestically produced chips. In China's case, this typically refers to Huawei Ascend AI processors and related domestic hardware. This is not a small detail. The United States has imposed export restrictions limiting China's access to advanced NVIDIA GPUs. That has created enormous pressure on Chinese AI companies. If you can't access H100s, if you can't access top-tier GPUs, how do you compete? you build alternatives. GLM-5 represents proof that China's AI ecosystem is adapting. Instead of collapsing under hardware constraints, companies are optimizing architectures and leveraging domestic silicon. That strengthens China's AI self-sufficiency strategy, and it reduces Western leverage. The Dakota reported that GLM-5 is released under an MIT license. That is strategically important. MIT is one of the most permissive open-source licenses. It allows commercial use, modification, redistribution. This is not a closed ecosystem strategy. This is platform expansion. Open-source frontier-level models create ecosystems. They allow startups to build on top. They allow enterprises to customize. They accelerate domestic developer adoption. OpenAI's GPT-5 class systems are not MIT licensed. Anthropic's Claude is not MIT licensed. Zhipu's move signals something very clear. Compete not only on performance, compete on openness. Reuters and Investing.com both reported that Chinese AI stocks rallied following GLM-5's launch. Zhipu even increased pricing for its coding plan due to rising demand. That tells you something critical. Demand is real. Developers are not just testing it, they are paying for it. Raising prices immediately after launch suggests either demand exceeded expectations, infrastructure costs surged, or enterprise uptake accelerated. Either way, market confidence increased and investor sentiment shifted. Let's zoom out. GLM-5 isn't just another model release. It fits into a broader pattern. Over the last year, China's AI ecosystem has accelerated. Baidu, Alibaba, Zhipu, Minimax, Moonshot AI. Multiple players are competing domestically. That internal competition is creating rapid iteration, and GLM-5's launch demonstrates something else. Chinese models are no longer trailing by wide margins. They're operating within the same competitive band. The performance gap, at least on public benchmarks, is narrowing. The AI race has two layers. Layer 1, model performance. Layer 2, infrastructure independence. GLM-5 addresses both. Performance parity challenges Western dominance narratives. Domestic chip training challenges hardware dependency assumptions. Combine those together and you get a multipolar AI world. Not US only, not China only, but competing sovereign AI ecosystems. If GLM-5 delivers on strong coding, long context, agentic planning, and open licensing, then it becomes attractive for Chinese enterprises, Southeast Asian markets, emerging economies, cost-sensitive startups, and possibly even Western developers experimenting with alternatives. Competition drives price compression. Price compression drives adoption. Adoption drives ecosystem lock-in. This is how platform wars are won. If you strip away the headlines, here's the core takeaway. GLM-5 proves that frontier-class AI models are no longer geographically centralized. They are globally distributed. The performance race is tight, the infrastructure race is strategic, and the openness race is just beginning. For years, the AI narrative centered on Silicon Valley. Now the narrative is shifting, because when a 744 billion parameter model built on domestic chips can rival leading Western systems in coding and reasoning, that's not just a product release, that's a signal that the global AI balance is evolving, and we are entering a phase where innovation is no longer unilateral. It is competitive, it is strategic, and it is accelerating. That's it. If you like this breakdown, then subscribe to the channel. Catch you in next one.